What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark, MagnaMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the currently shortlisted documentary shorts for the Oscars. This is the fourth one that I've seen that's a documentary short. One of them didn't make the shortlist, so I've seen only three now that are on the shortlist. So, one of those was a hopeful. It tried, and it just didn't make the cut. But this is I Am Ready, Warden. This is available on Paramount Plus with audio description. So if you're blind and you want to get some of your Oscar checklists off, I think it's really important to note when we have things that are in the shorts category that have audio description, because we should aim for as accessible as a class of films every year as humanly possible. Something that we're not really trying to do with the Oscars, but it's nice when we get there. So I'm already rooting for this film simply because it has audio description over films that do not. It's really that simple. And it's a story. It's not a happy story, and it tells you that sort of right up front. It's about a death row inmate, John Henry, who is close to being put to death, and I think that's his name anyway. Uh, I, I I kept hearing that name, and I was like, "Isn't that?" Anyway, so at the beginning of the film, he says, "If you've seen this, then I'm sorry, and I've been put to death, and I'm already dead." And it's a sort of a look at his inmates, a look at who his crime, who he is now on death row, his acknowledgement of everything. There's a woman that comes and prays with him and does that. It's sort of like the dead man walking thing. Um, and ended up becoming his godmother and has this like special bond and tries to get through to these people that live in Texas and they think they're governor. It's like she's like, "I know Governor Abbott that you're going to do the right thing," and I'm like, "No, he's not. He is not going to do this. Good luck. Have fun with that." Um, it's like shouting in a tornado. Uh, it's so she's trying to get clemency, and there's also like a new district attorney that's assigned that's becomes sort of, this would be under his jurisdiction. He's sort of, as an inmate, the guy's sort of exhausted all of his appeals, but then the district attorney also sort of like reopening the case and wondering like, is this the kind of thing that should be a death penalty case? So he starts to question that himself too. All in like 35 minutes, by the way. It's a documentary short. There's a little bit of reflection with the son of the man who was murdered all those years ago. This is back in like the mid 2000s. So it's okay if you don't remember this case. This didn't happen yesterday. And there's also the death row inmate had a kid who has grown up, and he talks about how happy he is that his son didn't grow up anything like him, and also that his ex allowed his son to come visit him so that he had some sort of relationship with him. The guy never claims that he's innocent. So, I mean, like, it's not one of those things where it's a documentary that's trying to, be like, I didn't do this. But it is a look into this guy who was in. It's very interesting because it looks into his life and how shitty it was, but he also like there's acknowledgement that there are also people who grow up with equally shitty lives and don't kill anybody. So he doesn't even try to use that as an excuse. He just kind of wishes that he had had the opportunity to become a better person, and he thinks he is one, and that's, I think, why they've chosen him, is because instead of having a documentary that's about, is he innocent or is he guilty, or anything like that, this is somebody who admits and apologizes for what they've done, and there are sort of these interesting beats that you uncover along the way, who has this odd support even from sort of like the prosecution, but it's Texas. So this is more like a referendum on the amount of people that Texas puts to death every year at sort of like a rapid rate. Um, you know, their their system is set to extra crispy over there in Texas. It's just, I saw the HBO had the documentary with docu series, where the one director went through and went back to Texas and was uncovering these various things. And one of the things that he was looking at was sort of prisons and death penalty and stuff like that, and the amount of people versus like the rest of the country. It's just like, it's like, that is like they're leading the country in that. It's just, is that really what you want to be leading the country in? So I guess for some people, yes, but I'm not here to argue whether or not the death penalty should or should not exist. This is a documentary that'll make you think about things, and I don't know. I don't know if it'll get nominated. I don't know. I didn't have a strong semblance that this was going to be the winner for the year, that this is the Oscar winner, or I think it'll get nominated. It feels like the kind of thing, but it also feels like the kind of thing that could. I haven't seen enough of the other documentaries, so but like this versus like a swim lesson, I just, I mean, yeah, I would think this would beat that. So yeah, I guess, not to knock a swim lesson, it was fine, but as an Oscar nominated documentary, I don't think it's headed for the win. I could be wrong, but anyway, so we've seen stuff like this before, and I think that's kind of the one thing that hampers it, is that people have made a lot of things about death row and the death penalty, and looking at these cases in documentary form before. So does it add anything new? I don't know. But it is pointed at one particular case, one person who isn't fighting. It really is not trying to isn't trying to say he didn't do it. He isn't. He's owning up to everything. So if you want to watch a sad documentary short that might be nominated for an Oscar, then this is for you. I'm gonna give, this is a hard one to grade. I'll give it a B plus. I'm grateful it has audio description, because a lot of times the shorts don't. Sometimes the documentary shorts have a little bit more than live action or animated, but anyway, that's it. Check it out on Paramount Plus, and thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.